Hello. Hi there. Um, I'm Nathan, also known as Griff, also known as Old Man Nene, also known as That Boy Lawrence. Uh, um, I've been climbing in League for the last month. Climbing would be the incorrect word, though. I'm pretty sure I netted negative LP, which, expectationally is against my expectations. Um, what can I say? Expectations be like that. Um, why am I recording this? I don't know. I wanted to give a speech towards some form, shape, or purpose. Uh, Sometimes I stream me playing League, especially in this last month, on and off through the last couple of years. Um, Sometimes I find it harder to focus on the climb itself if I'm streaming, but at the same time, it's like I want to get over that. Uh, and I can't blame some other thing out there for my inability here. So, I don't know. Uh, why the speech right now, today? Good question. Uh, well, throughout this climb, I've been on the precipice of quitting League. Um, for whatever reason, I'm waiting for the reason to really make itself known. Uh, and it just won't. It just won't. What does that mean? It means maybe I don't quit. Who knows? But I have yet to put my whole heart into League, I think. Maybe that's an excuse I tell myself for why I lose and why I'm not good at it, even though I've played it for more than 13 years, which is like crazy. I've put more hours than a lot of people. Um, the speech, I guess, would start around now, which is discerning a competitive sport and competition in general and trying to say this is my enemy and I'm here to beat them today is very hard. Um, Especially if you come from an ideology that's like I don't really have enemies. Um, so it's like how do I show up as my best self to respect their best selves as we try to beat the crap out of each other on the rift? Don't know. I don't know the one. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that when you do play League at its highest level with people who are also playing at the highest level, um, I didn't think of them as opponents anymore. I don't know. We were just creating some beautiful story between the two of us as we each dodged and weaved each other's, not even each other's abilities, but the chance of each other's abilities, the precursor, um, or our autos, and it's quite beautiful. And so I guess any thoughts of the previous nature are just like false. But what if you aren't able to reach what you deem beautiful, um, like I am now? I don't know what to think then. I think many things. Something wrong with me. How may I change? How may I change is a big one. It's like, because I feel open to the change. I feel like my heart is open. I feel like I'm putting my heart in the league. But anytime I ask myself, are you putting your heart in the league? I go, no, no, I'm not. And I don't know what kind of search I gotta do to get in there. And this is applicable to any sport, or anything, any passion. It's like people sometimes just feel like their heart might not be in it, but they feel like their heart's supposed to be. And it's like whatever supposed to means. But it's like I want to put my heart in it. Isn't that enough heart right there? I would think so. I thought so. But nonetheless, my LP goes down, my rank, my abilities in the game go down. And it's like, okay. And it's not about winning, but I mean, it is a measurement. It is a nice measurement to be like, what kind of energies I'm putting forth are or aren't working. Um, which is nice. Which is nice to think about it that way. It's like, oh, okay, I'm on a 10 game losing spree. Maybe the answers in my heart just aren't the right energies right now. Or maybe they are the right energies. It's just the world is not in that exact alignment for some reason. Maybe you got to learn some lesson. I don't know. But I'm sitting here and I'm losing things that I feel like are either my fault in some capacity or not my fault in some capacity. And it's like, well, did it ever matter? When I think of the times that I won a ridiculous amount of games in a row, when I think of the times where it was just like I felt no one could beat me, when I had 40 games where not a single successful gank worked in the top lane, not a single time do I feel like in those 40 games I lost to my laner. I might have lost the game. Maybe I can't transition to the whole thing being beautiful, but there was beauty. And when I think of those times, and I'm not trying to compare myself to myself, but when I think of those times, and I think of now, I go, there's some bit of Nathan that isn't quite here yet, is still asleep, lies dormant, or just has yet to say, enough is enough. And it's like, you could apply this to anything you do, but I'm waiting for me to quit League. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. But I have yet to. And I think there's a good reason behind that. I think there's a good reason behind that. I don't think it's possible to waste one's own time, which seems crazy because I also think that's highly possible. Um, but also no. So when is the end? When a painter knows the last stroke, when the audience applauds, when what? When is the end? I don't know. But I'm pushing onward, which means that I'm not at the end. Because if I was at the end, it would end. There would be a conclusion, and it doesn't have to be satisfying, but it would be conclusatory. Um, like if I said right now, I quit League, there would be a lack of satisfaction, sure, but it wouldn't be a conclusion. Like there wouldn't be a conclusion. There is no conclusion there. And conclusion could come through chance. It could come through a lot of things. It could come through maybe reaching the highest heights. But my conclusion has yet to come. And in fact, if I were to even think upon it, which whatever that means, a whole bunch of ego crashing at the wall. If I were to think upon it, I'd say my conclusion is far from. So I'm sitting here at like Emerald 1, Emerald 2, which is like 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, like 700 LP below my peak. But at my peak, I knew I had more promise. I just had less fuel. Last time I climbed through forms of spite and anger and working through specific feelings. This time I climb to climb, maybe to work through these feelings. But I don't want it to be through this tower of ego. I was journaling last night in front of my stream. Let's read it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here, but let's read it. Last night, and one of my players said real, and then he went 15 deaths deep. So I wonder if this touched on something in him, because it's like I didn't want to blame him for those 15 deaths, because somebody sees me journaling this, says real, and goes 15 deaths deep. It's like shit. That might have been on me. Or maybe I'm just filling up my ego a little bit too much, thinking I have an effect on the world. Who knows? But I said, I'm drawing a blank. I don't quite know why I opened this up. Well, that's not true. I'm expecting, and I keep expecting. I buy into expectations like a gambler, finally thinking, hell, he'll hit his lucky break. Even if only 1% thinks I'll buy in that 1%. Why? Because I want something to be true. And why can't I decide something to be true if I want it to be? I feel like there's many ideologies of flow state. Break their ankles, being locked in or being locked out. What am I now? I'm in this limbo that feels half bored and half the other half lost. It's not like I don't want to win, but it's just my attention isn't grabbed. And even when it is, my demeanor is very casual towards the happenstances of this difficult game. How does one put their heart on the line? Is this all the passion I can muster? It feels like it just might be. Is that even possible? I don't think it to be. I don't think it even close. How could my passion, Nathan's passion, fizzle? That seems downright impossible. But are these scaffoldings of a conversation merely lies to prop up my dead dreams? Or is this a newfound foundation? Both are quite possible, which I am tired of hearing and saying. When does the free will of my human spirit come in? When do I get to feel uninhibited? I don't get it. I sit here day in, day out, waiting for a fire to rise, yet I actively squash the ones that have the wrong fuel. When may I move forward, if not now? After reading that, I mean, I'm nowhere closer to an answer. In fact, I'm actively tuning into my heightened amount of tinnitus and my heartbeat actually beating a little bit. But it's like I try to put meaning to those words. Like, oh, maybe my heartbeat's speeding and I'm attuning to it because like it's waking up. And it's like I want those to be the truth. And why can't I decide that? Why can't I decide that? And I know it's not about winning. Chicken Joe didn't even know he won the whole surfer competition. Be like Chicken Joe. He's a chill dude. But I don't know. I'm tired of the way things are now. And I want to change and I want things to change. And part of that is my gameplay because it is one of the things that I held as an anchor to say my gameplay is beautiful and it is unreplicable by others. Now it's like anybody could lose a lane like I do. Actually, maybe they can't. Maybe that's just my beauty. Nobody could lose a lane like Nathan. Uh, or a game. Who knows? Who knows? But it's like, do I lose 15, 20, 30 more games in a row in order to get to the skill level I'm probably actually at? Well, I think the game would tell, you know? If I'm actually at that skill level, I'll be at that rank. It's quite simple. That's how it goes. Um, do I take a break? I don't know. I contemplated that pretty hard today. Um, this whole morning, and like, if I'm just gonna lose, what's the point of playing? But I posed a question a couple days ago, which was, if you had to lose a large number of games in a row to then win an equal number of games in a row, how big of a number could you pick? And that was part of the question. There's several parts to it, but it was like, how many games are you willing to lose in a row before you would even quit? Like, you have to pick the number before you get to experience the number. And if you don't make it to the other side, you simply don't make it. So it's like, if I choose 10 games in a row that I'd lose in a row, then I come out the other side, I get to win 10 games in a row. Let's say 500,000. That means Nathan has to play through 500,000 games with or without his heart each and every day. You can expect a loss, but that doesn't mean every game is going to look like a loss going in. What point do you quit before you even finish your number? And it's like, I don't know. I wonder if I've played 500,000 games at this point. And so maybe it's gambler's fallacy, but shit, maybe I'm on the cusp. Maybe if I just don't quit today, it'll mean so much more tomorrow. But why are we framing everything in this ideology of quit versus not quit versus fail versus not fail? Why can't it just be, I moved on in my life? That's part of the free human spirit as well. I can choose that to be the storyline, but I'm not. I'm actively not. I'm actively playing this game still, going, when will my time come? I'm actively playing this game still at a decent rank, not a high one, but a decent rank, and I'm going, what is the fundamental of a winning game? Not like, oh, how do I win? I'm saying, what does it even mean to win? And like these philosophical whatever questions, I've asked them before, and I've come back full circle with actual like answers. And I've been like, oh shit, that's groundbreaking. So if I'm in this stage, is there a groundbreaking stage? If I'm in this stage where I am, let's see, how do I word it? But are these the scaffoldings of the conversation merely lies to prop up my dead dreams? Or is this the new foundation? Is that for me to decide? I mean, 20 years from now, we walk with all of our baggage. You can't not. You can't say, oh, I'm going to put this down at this time. It may feel like that some moments, but you walk with everything because you are everything. So 20 years from now, maybe it's not even League that I carry all this into. Maybe it's something else. But right now, Nathan, which is the only Nathan that exists, is trying to put this energy in the league. Because you know what? I don't know. When I start something, the very first time, very first time, it feels like I'm opening a door all the way to the end at that point. Like, oh shit, I've just experienced the end, like at the first point. Not that it's accurate at all, but it's like I've just dreamed for the first time. I've just experienced my childlike wonder where I was uninhibited. What am I now? Highly inhibited. Highly. That's what it feels like, at least. I'm having this speech where I'm saying there's A and there's B. Oh, there's A and there's B. Who's the decider? It's supposed to be me, but it doesn't feel like it. Because if I could decide, I would choose A. But I'm not at A. I'm at I'm not at B. People say quitting a fast is a highly personal thing. Participating in a fast is a highly personal thing, but quitting one early is a highly personal thing. I think quitting anything is highly personal, but fasts they're they highlight something very quickly. They highlight something very quickly. I've done many different types of fasts. 3 days generally at the end of each month I attempt. Which you'd think, Nathan, you've done like 9 3-day fasts. How could the ninth one differ any more than the first one? Or how could it be harder on the ninth one than the first one? And it's like, I don't particularly think I'm a human with the strongest of wills. So I enter into my 3-day fast and I'm like, oh fuck, we're gonna find out what it's like. And I've quit a 3-day fast on the first day, even though it's my seventh one. And on my first one, I've succeeded. And it's like, what? I've gone into a 7-day fast where the attempt was to never fight myself at all on the whole thing. And I've reached day 5 before I gave in over some bananas. Very casually, too. I was like, I'm not going to fight myself. And I reached day 5. How can I reach day 5 on that type of fast when I can't even reach day 3 on others? So, with no end in sight, I start my queue. Because today is a new day where maybe I can affect the game in a positive direction or affect the game at all. Um, I don't know. I've been feeling like a minion almost. I'm number one in killing minions. Number one. I doubt that. I don't think that's an accurate thing. There's got to be people who are so much better at that than me. I'm number one in destroying turrets. I doubt that. I don't feel like number one. If I felt like number one, I'd be like, oh, yeah, probably, probably. Let's see if I'm still number one in this guy too. Whoosh. I was at one point, but let's go check. Number one. I don't feel like number one. I'm not even able to put up my other banner. I've hit masters before. Don't feel like a master. Let's see if I've got any rank ones in here. That's hiding. I think there's an error when it says I'm number one. I don't think that's accurate, but that's because I don't know. I guess I don't believe in myself to be able to accomplish what it means to be number one. So, la 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 la. This one used to be a lot higher. A lot higher. What happens is I used to just apply so much pressure that we would get 4-0 Dragon Souls left and right. Um, Closing statement on this speech, I guess. We've reached the 26-minute marker with no real end in sight. If I have to slog through the depths of the ranks of League, losing and losing faith in myself, um, at the very least, I won't stop dreaming. I won't. At the very least, I'm not going to stop dreaming. So that doesn't mean that I should remain hopeful. Hope is sometimes a scapegoat to deny one's own self control in a situation. But that does mean that I understand that I control what comes tomorrow. I control what comes now. So, whatever effort you are chasing after, in whatever avenue, for whatever reason, on this human life that you might only have one of, or not, who fucking knows anything, chase after it with reckless abandon. It's as simple as that. Have a good day.